So on the endpoint level, everything might look very normal, but hi everyone, today we're going to understand some of the basic concepts, and those are NDR, XDR, EDR and NDR. We will try to understand them in the almost exact order that they were evolved and why each of them were created. I'm specifically doing this topic because my YouTube short on similar terms grew views, but it doesn't have much context, so this is more of a detailed explanation of them. First, let's look at EDR. EDR stands for Endpoint Detection and Response, and the keyword here is endpoint. EDR exists because the endpoints are the most common entry point for attackers. Some examples are laptops, servers, workstations. This is where the users click, run scripts, and where the credentials can get stolen. So unlike antivirus, EDR does not only care about the known malware signatures, it continuously monitors what is happening on the endpoint, which processes have started, which command was executed, what child processes were spawned, and what memory were accessed. So everything is tracked as behavior, not just files. You can think of EDR as a CCTV installed inside the operating system. It watches every meaningful action and records it for investigation. Now let's understand how EDR actually works in simple terms. An EDR agent runs on the endpoint and collects telemetry like the process execution, command line arguments, registry changes, and many more. So this data is sent to the back-end platform where detection logic analyzes it. And if something looks suspicious, an alert is generated. But EDR does not stop at detection, and that's the key difference. With EDR, security teams can also respond. They can kill a malicious process, quarantine a file, or isolate an endpoint from the network completely. So I'll give you a real-world example. An attacker might get access through phishing and then will run a credential dumping tool. Antivirus might miss it because no malicious file is dropped, but EDR sees a process accessing the LSAS memory, which is not a normal behavior. That behavior will trigger an alert. The SOC analyst will investigate it, confirm the malicious activity, and isolate the endpoint before the credentials are reused. So this is the power of EDR. But there is a very clear limitation of EDR, that is that it only sees what happens on endpoints. It does not see the network traffic between the systems. It doesn't see the lateral movement clearly, and it does not correlate activity across other sources like email, identity, cloud, and network. So while EDR solves the endpoint visibility problem, it creates a new challenge, which is too many alerts, too much data, and too little context beyond the endpoint. So that is where the NDR comes into place. NDR stands for Network Detection and Response. The focus here is not the endpoint, the focus is the network itself. NDR works by observing network traffic and building a baseline of what normal communication looks like, and when something deviates from that baseline, an alert is raised. So unlike EDR, NDR does not rely on agents. It uses network sensors, taps, or traffic mirrors to analyze data like flow records, DNS queries, TLS metadata, and packet behavior. So think of NDR as surveillance cameras on rows between the buildings, while EDR is the camera inside the building. Now let's look at a real attack scenario. An attacker compromises one endpoint and then starts moving laterally using legitimate credentials. So on the endpoint level, everything might look very normal, but on a network level, things will look different because one system suddenly starts connecting to many internal systems. There are unusual SMB traffic at odd hours, DNS requests show beacon-like patterns, and encrypted traffic is being sent to unfamiliar external servers. So this is where NDR gets to work. NDR detects abnormal communication patterns even when the payload is encrypted. It focuses on behavior, not content. Now let's be clear about what NDR cannot do. NDR has limited response capabilities. It can alert, it can integrate into firewalls or SOAR platforms, but it cannot reach into the endpoint and kill a process or isolate a machine on its own. So now we have two very powerful but incomplete kind of tools. EDR sees into endpoints, but not into network, and NDR sees into network but not into endpoint. So this means that there's no single incident view, and that is where the XDR comes into play. XDR stands for Extended Detection and Response. It means that detection and response are extended across multiple security layers, not just one. And this does not replace EDR or NDR, it sits above them. So XDR collects telemetry from endpoints, network, email, identity systems, and so on. Then they will normalize all this data and correlate into a single incident. Then instead of 10 separate alerts, you will only get one attack storyline. If I give you a realistic example on this attack scenario, imagine a user receives a phishing email and then clicks on a malicious link. That action is first recorded by the email security system as an unusual event. Then after that, if a script begins running on the user's machine, the EDR will pick up that suspicious activity. The infected endpoint then starts communicating with an external command and control server, which is noticed by the NDR because of its traffic patterns. After gaining a foothold, the attacker tries to move laterally using the stolen credentials, and this activity will appear clearly in the identity and authentication logs. So without XDR, there are 4 separate alerts here in 4 different tools. With XDR, they become one incident, and additional to that, the response part is where the XDR becomes more powerful. This is because the XDR understands the relationship between events. It can trigger coordinated responses. It can isolate the endpoint, block the IP address, disable the compromised user account, and stop the attack across multiple layers. So this will reduce the investigation time and the alert fatigue. But again, XDR has a main dependency, and that is XDR is only a platform. It is not a security operation center. It will give you better detections, better correlation, better response, but still somebody has to monitor it. They have to check the incidents, they have to make some decisions. So this is where skilled analysts are still required. Maybe 24-hour monitoring and according to the organization's requirement. So of course XDR solves the visibility and correlation problem, but it does not solve the people and time problem. And that is where MDR comes into the picture. MDR stands for Managed Detection and Response, and this is very important to understand that MDR is not a tool, it is only a service. With MDR, you are not just buying software, it's about outsourcing detection, investigation, and response to a dedicated security team. The MDR provider monitors your environment around the clock by 24/7 or according to your organization requirements. They will analyze the alerts, they will hunt for threats, and when something real happens, they will take action. So let's look at a real attack scenario again. Say an attacker triggers a suspicious behavior at 2 in the morning. The EDR alert fires, the XDR platform will correlate it with network and identity activity, and instead of waiting for your internal team to log into the platform the next day, the MDR team will investigate it immediately. They will confirm if it's actually malicious, they will isolate the endpoint, they will block the indicators, and they will also contain the attack before it spreads. So when you wake up as the organization's internal team, the incident is already handled and you will receive a clear report of what happened and what was done. So this is the real value of MDR. MDR will solve the people problem, it will solve the time problem, it will reduce the operational burden on the internal teams. But MDR also have trade-offs. You are actually trusting an external team with visibility into your environment, and you might have less direct control. Plus, the quality of MDR depends heavily on the provider's expertise and the processes. So MDR is not about better technology, it is about better outcomes. I hope you got an idea about the differences between these four concepts. If you have any questions, you can drop them down in the comment section and I'll answer. Thank you.